Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about my story of how I became a pastor, even though I've never ever thought that I would become a pastor one day. So this is my story, and I hope you get inspired or just learn a little bit about me. Before I start, I want to talk about the importance of um, being a people of God wherever we are. It doesn't matter if you don't work in the church, even if you work as a nurse, you work in the film industry, or you work as a coach, sport coach, whatever you do, you should always be representing Christ. Those two should not be a separation. It's not because you're not a pastor that you're not supposed to live up your call to to represent Christ here on earth. So that's kind of a little bit I want to encourage you about. Now, my story. So growing up, first of all, we have to say that as a little child, I knew I wanted to be a nurse because I thought that nurses were pure and then they were doing great things for the Lord. They were very dedicated to God. And I thought, I want to be like that. I want to be a nurse. I want to be dedicated to God for my life. I want to serve people, take care of the kids, and all that. But very fast, I learned that that's not what I was called to. And then I wanted to be a journalist. The reason I wanted to be a journalist because in my country, there was this beautiful woman in my church and she was a journalist and she spoke French really, really well. And I was like, I want to be like her. I want to be a journalist and just do what she does. And that also kind of faded away. And then when I got to middle school, high school, and I remember we were told to write something about what would you like to become and what would you want people to know about you when you pass away. So I was like, you know what? At that time I was like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor that found the cure to cancers. I wanted people to know me to know me that in that way. And I was studying to be a doctor, and then that changed to be wanting to be a pediatrician and all that. But again, that's not what God was calling me. So after I graduated, I just knew that I wanted to do something in ministry. I wanted to help people in the ministry. I wanted to work for a nonprofit. So I was looking for it and ended up to work for a church. And as I was working for a church, before that, I just have to say, even in college, there's time in my life where I'm so much in love with God, and there's just different season of life. And there was one time I was so much in love with Christ that I will do my homework very fast, and when I'm done, I will go really quick to I'll go very quick to studying, to reading the Bible and praying and stuff. And I remember my roommate and my other friend will say, you're gonna be, you know, a female pastor. You're gonna be like Joyce Meyer and all this stuff. And never put that in my mind. Never thought that that's what I wanted. I just knew I wanted to read God's words. I wanted to be in scripture, and I just loved it. So I just spent it for myself. So fast forward, graduate from college, and then and then I was working for a church. I was working for kids in the kids ministry. Um, and that was fantastic. I worked there for so long, and I remember the pastor will tell me, some of the pastor will say, you need to think about maybe going to seminary and maybe thinking about your call to ministry. And I'm like, nope. Like, it wasn't like a no, maybe I'm gonna pray. It was like a no, like, let's not even think about it. I'm not gonna become a pastor, and I know I'm not gonna become a pastor. So it was always like a straight no. Before even somebody finished the sentence, I was like, no, do not count me on that. And then it was like that. And but a lot of people mentioned that. So after that, I got married to my husband, and my husband also encouraged me. She's like, "You've been in ministry and all that," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to be like, I don't want to do that." So when we got married, and looking for a place to work and a place to be a pastor open up, I was like, I am not sure this is the right place for me to be, but I wanted to trust God. And what my friend was telling me, what my friends, the church was seeing in me, and I was like, I'm gonna trust God every step, every little step, every day. And I served at 3 churches in rural United States, and I enjoy it. Every day is not always easy, but I was like, I like it. But I do understand it's a big responsibility to lead people. And there's always this verse that always say that the teachers will be, I can't remember what exactly that verse is. I may find it and write it in the comment, but that those who teach will be required more. So I always take that very seriously, and I continue to pray every day. I don't know where God's gonna take me next step, but I'm here serving Him as a former pastor in a small town in United States, and trusting God wherever it leads me. So I don't know your story. I'm not saying God is calling you to be a pastor, but trust God wherever He takes you, and because He knows what He does. Well, I hope you enjoy a little bit of my story and share with you your story and how God called you to do whatever you're doing. It doesn't have to be ministry. How did you get to do what you're doing? And I would love to hear from you. God bless you, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.